I'm alive. Almost forgot to unmute myself again. Welcome everyone to another episode of FPL Focal. Thank you all for being here. It's Gameweek 28. We are an hour from the deadline. And the question is, who to captain this week? Thank you again everyone for being here. Adam, Aidan, Danny C, El Padrino, Jack, aka J Elders, Jasmar, Matt, Monkey Man, Prasius, Sponchi, Sujet. Appreciate you all being here. Insane turnout already. How's everyone doing? It's Friday. Friday deadline tonight. The weekend is here. FPL is here. We've got 4 straight days of football. Starting tonight, of course, with Newcastle versus Aston Villa. Villa with a very good record on the road, so let's hope for a clean sheet for those of us who have got Villa defensive assets like Martinez or in my case Konsa. Monkey Man needs help on his team. What help do you need? What's the question, Monkey Man? If there's anyone who doesn't need help, it's Monkey Man, because he's absolutely smashing it this season. Top 1k. He's top of the FPL Focal Mini League. The Flisk says Captain Salah time. Grove says Salah again. Kieran says Mr. Focal. Prasius is going Mahrez. Love the Mahrez punt. Mahrez obviously ended up being the top scorer in Gameweek 27, double Gameweek 27, which did mean that for the first time this season we have a repeat in the Kings of the Game Week. It took 27 game weeks to get there, but we do have a repeat, and it was Mahrez. El Padrino's got the armband locked on Kane. Yeah, Kane's definitely a good shout as well. He's got a very, very strong record against Arsenal, so I can definitely see the logic in the Kane punt. For anyone who's not put their or voted for their captain yet, don't forget to do that on our Discord. If you're not on the Discord, link in the description. We'll have a look at the results of the captain poll in a little bit. Well, I used to get through on this one. So Monkey Man's wondering whether to get Saka this week. Who's it for, Monkey Man? Saka obviously plays in 29, so there's definite logic in getting him. Really good player. Could be a tough fixture this week against Arsenal for Saka. So my plans this week is to roll the transfer. So next week I'll have 2 for blank game week 29. And I'll probably make 3 transfers for a -4. And the plan is to hold on to my free hit even though I've still got it. Because I think there could be logic in saving it for later in the season if you still got your free hit. So for the second time this season, I'm going to be riding out a blank game week rather than using my free hit. So hopefully it pays off later in the season. Could end up being a red arrow in 29, but hopefully 28 will move on up. Barnes to Saka. Yeah, okay, there's logic in that because Barnes is obviously out for probably the entire season. I prefer Rafinha, but this week Leeds have a tough fixture. But I prefer Rafinha versus who they got? Is it Fulham in 29? But if you don't have Rafinha, then I'd say yeah, Saka makes sense. Prasius also rolling the transfer. Monkey Man, but Saka's numbers have been poor lately, so I don't know if it's worth it or not. Yeah, that's why, as I say, I think Rafinha is the better option of the two in that price range. If you don't have Rafinha, then I'd say he would be priority. I'd be really surprised if Rafinha's still a Leeds player next season because he's been unbelievable since joining, and it's his first season in the Prem as well. Zalchor, start Dunk versus Southampton or Bamford versus Chelsea. Tough one. I'd probably start Dunk. Chelsea have just been unbelievable basically since Tuchel came in. Best defence in the league since he took over. Back in, I think it was game week 20. Anyway, let's crack on with a news roundup. So the main breaking news from today is of course Chris Wilder's left his role as manager of Sheffield United. I don't know, I've been working all day so I haven't properly read up on this. I don't know if he got sacked or whether he just decided to leave. Do you guys know? And what are your thoughts on this? I really like Wilder and I think he's been so unlucky this season with all the injuries. He's lost a lot of key players. And then even the backup players have ended up getting injured as well. You know, they've got the likes of Egan, just in defence, Egan, Basham, O'Connell, Jagielka picked up the red card, he was out. Sander Berge in midfield, really key player to them, also injured for the season, so it doesn't surprise me that they've gone down, but it's a shame to see Wilder leaving Sheffield, and I wonder what he'll do next. So some Leicester news. Rogers says Maddison is still out. Johnny Evans is back. Pratt is back and should be available, as should be Ayuzi Perez. And of course Barnes not even mentioned here because he's expected to be out for pretty much the remainder of the season, if not all of it. Are the Fs in the chat for Wilder? Or for the stream? I'm starting to get paranoid that the stream's gone down again after yesterday's technical issues. I ended up unlisting yesterday's stream because it cut off about twice while I was streaming. Anyway, let's carry on with the news. So on to Villa. So Matty Cash will be back in the squad, which is good news for those of us with the likes of Martinez or other defensive assets. Should also be good for anyone that's got the likes of Watkins, because Matty Cash can obviously attack down that right wing, and he's good at whipping in a cross. I think he used to be a winger even. And Grealish is a lot better, but we won't see him this game week against Newcastle. Smith said it hasn't helped that he's been ill this week, which has kept him off for a couple of days. I mean, we're just going to have to take what Smith says at face value, but it wouldn't surprise me if out of nowhere Grealish is back. Stream is fine. Okay, good. Let's carry on with the news. So Southampton, Danny Ings underwent a scan yesterday revealing damage to his adductor muscle, which will keep him out for 3 weeks. So he missed the trip to Southampton to Man City, obviously. Really unfortunate, anyone that had Ings for that double, because he looked like a really strong option, I thought, going into that, and I fancied him to do well. And obviously he was injured in the first game and missed the second, and Southampton ended up getting a penalty in both of those games that he missed, which he might have taken. So if you had Ings, I'm very sorry. Sorry for your loss there. So in the Europa League game last night, Kane was spotted on the bench with an ice pack strapped to his knee, but it looks like it's nothing serious. Mourinho said, I don't believe it's anything big. Sunday's a big match. Sorry, Sunday's a match everyone wants to play, and little things will not stop him. I don't have the feelings it's anything serious. So good news for anyone that's got Kane in their team, which I think is a lot of us at this point. Not just because of his form, but also because, of course, Spurs play in blank game at 29. Another player from Spurs, he plays in 29, is Bale. And Mourinho basically said, I want to keep the momentum going, but I need to manage him. The communication is very good, and I think he trusts me. The relationship with him is very good, and I think, of course, I'd like to play 90 minutes every game, but he can't. So yeah, this is what we've seen really. Bale's minutes have been managed. He's been coming off before the full-time whistle, not getting full matches lately. But an interesting punt for 29, certainly one I'm considering. And lastly, I absolutely love this from Pep. So Pep in his conference today, talking about comparisons to Scott Parker, he said, he is younger, he has hair, he is better than me, I accept a draw. I love it when Pep gets a bit goofy, because I don't know, he's been killing it lately in the conferences, I think. I really enjoyed that comment. Does he know we call him the bald fraud? Maybe he knows. Maybe he's latched onto the hair jokes, and now they're no longer funny because Pep's making the jokes. But very self-aware from Pep, saying Parker's got hair. Anyway, so an update on the Premier League Players FPL table. So this is a table consisting of all the players in the Premier League, courtesy of FPLbot.app. And they've put together like a virtual league table. I'm not sponsored by these guys, but I think it's an interesting thing to track. Justin's still absolutely killing it, way in front, still top 10k. Justin, he captained Gundogan, only finished on 53 in the end, so not a great game week. John McGinn had a stinker as well. Like myself, he had Sterling captain, and he finished on 39. Lee Grant, I think he must be United's third choice keeper, or maybe second right now while De Gea's on, what do you call it, parental leave. He's gone up to 4th place, closing in on Carl Bartley of West Brom. Maguire drops into 5th place. He had Salah captain and finished on 40 points. Did anyone watch the United game last night and see the Maguire miss? One of the biggest misses of the season, I have to say. It fell to him, back post, open goal, 1 yard out, and he shinned it against the post. Ted asked, what's your take on Mopai? I'm not keen on Mopai. I actually owned him at one point early this season. The problem with Brighton is they are phenomenal in terms of underlying stats, but they just don't have the strikers to back it up. I think I saw a graphic which was the expected league position based on their data, and Brighton had an expected position of 6th. But obviously when you got the likes of Mopai and Connolly up top for you, the chances aren't getting converted, and I don't rate him. On a free hit, you know, maybe, but I do think even on a free hit in 29 there's better options. I'd say Kane, Watkins, Bamford, Antonio, all ahead of Mopai in terms of potential options for 29. Yeah, I love that comment, Matt, saying Parker's better than him. So Harvey asks, Shaw or Bamford to start? I would start Shaw, because it's United playing at home against West Ham, whereas Leeds are playing against Chelsea, who obviously are the best defence in the league at the moment in terms of the defensive stats, which is something we'll look at later on the stream. Anyway, that's the news roundup. So the Kings of the Game Week, we were talking about Mahrez earlier. I forget who it was now, but someone in the chat had Mahrez captain. It was Pratiush, I think. So this is the Kings of the Game Week update, and as mentioned, Mahrez joined the Kings, or I say joined, rejoined the Kings in 27, and he's the first player to make the team twice. He made it back in Gameweek 10 as well, with a 21 pointer. So yeah, finally the streak's ended. Took 27 game weeks, but there we go. We'll continue to track this and we'll see who makes the Kings in 28. So this is the scout selection for Gameweek 28. Really differential team this week. So they've gone for Guaita in goal, Shaw, Pereira, Target, Bruno captain, Mahrez, Mount, Aubameyang, Kane vice captain, Richarlison, and Iheanacho. What do you guys think of this team? It's very differential. How you doing, Wabble? Yeah, I'm well, mate. I'm doing well. Been working from home all day. Not had dinner yet, but looking forward to Gameweek 28. I was just saying as well, we've got 4 straight days of football as well, which is nice. I quite like it that way when it's spread out, because there's something to look forward to each day. Zayab says play 1 out of Rafinha, Bamford and Dunk. Probably Dunk. Cancelo will play because he got rested previously. Yeah, I agree. I think Cancelo should be safe to start this one, having been rested against Southampton. Chad asks McCarthy or Sanchez to start. I would have to go Sanchez, which Matt also agrees with. Anyway, interesting team from the scout this week. Of course, as always, we'll track this as well, see how they do once Gameweek 28 is wrapped up. So let's have a look at the Goalscorer Odds for 28. And in terms of the highest goal-scoring odds, it's actually Salah with his away fixture to Wolves with a 53.5% chance of a goal. Actually, sorry, I didn't spot Vardy. Vardy actually has even better odds, who plays Sheffield. Chris Wilder lists Sheffield for the first time in the Premier League since they came up, who's got just under a 56% chance of scoring, Vardy. Calvert-Lewin with a 50% chance of a goal against Burnley as well. Very good odds there. The Fulham City game looks like a tough one to predict in terms of the goal scorers and of course who actually plays. But Jesus has got the highest odds, followed by Gundo and then Sterling. I've got Gundo and Sterling, so I'd be over the moon if either or both of them got a goal. Particularly Sterling. He's less than 10% owned still. Bruno, popular captain choice for this game week, has a 42.8% chance of a goal. Now let's have a look at the clean sheet odds. They are as follows. So City, as expected, top for clean sheet odds, 51.5% chance for clean sheet. Followed by Leicester, who, as we mentioned just now, play Sheffield, 49.5% chance of a clean sheet for them. Everton, Liverpool, both tied on a 39.5% chance of a clean sheet, followed by Palace, and then United, and then Chelsea and Villa tied on a 36% chance. Thanks everyone that has tuned in so far. Appreciate you all being here. Chad, Chanuf, Danny, Gil, Friday, Ilum, Jack, Jesna, Matt, Monkey Man, Prasius, Stefan, Vabel, Zayab. Appreciate you all being here. Don't forget to like the video while you're here, if you have liked the stream so far, or if you have liked Teddy here on my shoulders, enjoying the stream as well. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you're not subscribed. So Danny asks, what's your plan for the blank game week? So I've actually still got my free hit. I didn't use it back in 18 either, and I don't plan to use it in 29 either. So I'm going to roll the transfer this week, and then in 29 I'm probably going to make 3 moves. So I haven't decided what those 3 moves are yet, but it'll probably be something like DCL for Bamford, and then probably I'll sell Sterling. I'm not sure who for yet. Could be Bale that comes in like that, and then I'd probably just get rid of Mitchell for a defender who plays in the blank as well. I'm thinking I can't even remember his name now. Veltman of Brighton. Veltman is an interesting one. He's only 4.3 while Lewis Dunk is 4.9, and Veltman's actually got the better underlying stats of the two. So that's what I'm considering, and I think that would give me 9 players for blank game week 29. And then I hope to use the free hit a bit later in the season, because well, my hope is that there'll be a better week to use it. So this is Ben Crellin's fixture ticker. There's actually a link to this in the description if anyone wants it. And as you can see here, the massive blank in 29. And when you look at the fixtures that are happening in 29, there's none really that stand out, and a lot of them are going to be unpredictable. I think Arsenal West Ham's a tough one to call. Villa have obviously been really good this season. They're not going to be a walkover for Tottenham, you would think. You know, teams like Liverpool, City, United all blank. So I just don't know if it's actually the best week to use the free hit. The other week I'm potentially considering is 33. So if you look here in 33, City and Tottenham both blank, as do Southampton and Fulham. So my thinking is that could actually be a better week to use it. The reason being is if you look at 32, there's a potential double for Tottenham and Southampton. So if that happens, then I would say there's a massive opportunity and potentially a big point swing if you pick up players doubling in 32, and then you can free hit them out in the following game week, because otherwise it's going to be very difficult to navigate these 2 game weeks without the free hit or just using free transfers. So that's my current thinking. I'm interested to know what you guys think. Ratu says, no clear choices for me. I don't have Kane. We'll bring him in next week. Yeah, so as I said at the top of the stream, I mean, the question this week is who's the best captain, because there's not really a standout, I don't think. You know, maybe Bruno, but West Ham aren't the sort of team we just roll over this season. Maybe Salah against Wolves, but, you know, Liverpool haven't been as good. Maybe Kane against Arsenal, but Kane tends to just get the 1 goal against Arsenal. He's only hauled against Arsenal twice ever in terms of getting 2 attacking returns. And there's some other options as well, like Sterling. He got the rest in the second of the double, so I could go Sterling. Calvert-Lewin we saw had good goal scorer odds, so he's definitely an option. Suji asks, Lingard or Bale for blank Gameweek 29? If it's a 1 week punt, I would say Bale. I'm not really considering Lingard, personally. For me, it's going to be between Rafinha and Bale, and I'm leaning towards Bale at the moment. Just because of the form he's in, and right now he seems to have a very high ceiling. But it's a difficult one. It's between those two for me, personally. Obviously, if you haven't got Son, then I think Son's a very good pick as well. Anyway, back onto the subject of Salah. So it's been an absolute wholesale this week. Ings, Barnes, Maddison and Grealish among the most transferred out, but obviously they've all got injuries. Salah doesn't, and over 800k have sold Salah. Anyone in chat sold Salah this game week? Or last game week? Depending on when you did it, it was probably a very shrewd move, because he's not done as well as of late. But I'm keeping the faith in him. My armband's actually on Salah. I think he's even a differential captain this week. SK says, I'd go Sterling if I were you, mate. It's very tempting. Very, very tempting. Don't make me doubt my decisions now. We're half an hour to the deadline. Yeah, I was really not sure between those two, but it is between those two in my team, Sterling or Salah. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it on Salah. The thing is, Liverpool have actually been doing well on the road. It's just at Anfield they've been absolutely shocking. So maybe there's something psychological going on there, and they just don't have that confidence at home. But the other thing which is massive is Fabinho's back, and in the Champions League we saw him back in midfield at long last. We saw Kabak and Phillips playing centre back, and I think Fabinho is a massive piece of the puzzle, having his presence in midfield. So I think that's underrated and not something you can easily measure. So that's why I'm leaning towards Salah, a combination of those two things. I suppose the third thing as well, as I mentioned, is I think he's actually a differential captain. I mean, as we saw, 800,000 people have sold him. Lucky man, I don't know about Saka. Arsenal don't have insane fixtures. Well, they've got Liverpool in 30, right? But then they've got Sheffield, who are in complete disarray, and Fulham, not too bad. Everton, Newcastle, West Brom. I don't think it's that bad, the fixture run. I don't think it's too horrendous. Don't forget to get your votes in on the captain poll on our Discord. We'll have a look at the results in a minute. I've not looked at them yet, so it'll be interesting to see who you guys have gone for. So we're about the halfway mark of this deadline stream, so I think, as always, now is a good time to do a little bit of Who's That Player. If you guys are up for it. For anyone that's not played before, you'll be shown the cutout of a player, and you have to try and guess who that player is. So let's start off with the first one. Who's that player? I'm interested to know if you guys can get this one. It's not Bale. Good guess from Worthfaint. It's not Rafinha. It's not Digne. MSK guesses Mahrez. Worthfaint says it's Mahrez. Ilum says Mahrez. El Padrino says it's Mahrez. It's not Kane. Good guess, Carl. We actually had Kane on last week's one. Grove says it's Mahrez. Monkey Man reckons it's Mahrez. SK says Riyad. A lot of Mahrez guesses here. Rittic reckons it's Mahrez. Grove says the best African in the league. Oh, controversial one that. Dismissing Salah like that. You're dead right though. It's Mahrez. Edison was a good guess. Wasn't Edison? The keepers can sometimes be easy if they have long sleeves on, but they don't always have the long sleeves. We saw on last week's one actually. Martinez had his arms behind his back, which is like his little pose. I don't think there's many players doing that pose in their FPL pick. Anyway, on to the next one. Who is that player? Oh, look at the head shape. MSK says that the last one was easy. Okay, we'll see if you get this one. We'll see if you get this one. Who is that player? Yeah, I felt I have to include Mahrez since he made the Kings of the Gameweek again for the second time this season. The first player to make the Kings twice. MSK reckons it's Grealish. Adam says it's Cresswell. Faint says Daddy. Anshiman says it's Foden. Ted reckons it's Cresswell. Aiden reckons it's Cresswell. Quite a few Cresswell guesses. Ilham reckons it's Lando Norris. SK says Cresswell. Flisk says it's easy, that's Foden. Grove reckons it's Cedric. Some good guesses here. I can see why you've picked the players you have. It's not Cedric, it's not Son, not Lowton, not Souček. Quite a few of you got it. The answer was Cresswell. What a season he's having. I think he's on 10 assists now. And I made, back when I was deciding which West Ham defender to get, I made the mistake of getting Soufal instead of Cresswell, because they were pretty even on points at the time. And yeah, they've moved well apart from each other since then. Good guesses, good guesses. Alright, last one. Here's a more difficult one. We'll see if anyone can get this one. Who is that player? Adam says my knowledge knows no bounds. Adam reckons it's Leno. Anshuman says Leno. Worthbane says that hair is signature. MSK reckons it's Bednarek. Few Leno guesses. Wabble says Leno. Alpedrino and Jack say it's Leno. It's a bit of a split between Bednarek and Leno. Aiden, Rittic and Omar. Aiden and Rittic reckon it's Leno. Omar says Keane. The answer was... it was Leno. Mr. Burnt Leno. Arsenal's #1. Do you guys think Arsenal made a mistake in letting Martinez go? Or would you say Leno's a better goalkeeper than Martinez? I mean, Martinez said the problem was that Arsenal couldn't promise him, you know, #1 position. And that's what he wanted. And obviously he's left for Villa and done outstanding since then. It's an interesting question whether they made a mistake there or not. I think Leno still just edges it as a better keeper, even though he's having a way worse season FPL wise. Could be my Arsenal bias though. I'd like to know what you think, Adam. I mean, Martinez is having an outrageous season. Could even be the highest scoring keeper ever come the end of the season. Very divided though between Leno and Martinez. Viper, how we doing, mate? Welcome to the stream. Good to have you back, Viper. Grove says Leno's not bad at all. SK says Arsenal had Martinez locked in a cage for 10 years. Imagine how many other players are like that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was very patient, to be fair, to wait this long, because Yeah, I mean, especially in his last season before he left, he was exceptional when he was called upon. And yeah, I think Leno even picked up an injury, and Martinez came in and did very well. Would you guys say Martinez is the signing of the season? I'm trying to think if there's any better signings. Maybe Diaz for City. Could be up there. I think signing of the season has to be Diaz or Martinez. Probably Martinez just edges it, but Diaz has completely changed that City defence as well since he's come in. MSK, the fact that Martinez was at Arsenal for so many years blows my mind. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's fair that he never got the a shot at number 1. So I don't blame him for leaving. Oh, good shout. Jack says Sufal. Yeah, Sufal, what did they sign him for? I think it was, you know, pennies compared to other signings. What did they pay? A few million for Sufal. I mean, it's all relative to what you pay, right? Because Diaz was, what was he, like 50, 60 mil? Martinez, I don't think they paid much for him. Wasn't it about 17 mil? Souček's a good shout. Souček was, I think he joined West Ham last season though, right? I believe Souček joined West Ham last season. Might have been the January window. Don't know if you can count that or not. SK says it's got to be Van der Beek. I mean, we're going to have another Martinez in our hands if Van der Beek doesn't start getting minutes. He'll leave for somewhere else and probably do outstanding wherever he goes. James says Diaz has really cemented himself as part of the first team, essential. Yeah, I'm trying to remember when it was I picked him up. Must have been about Gameweek 10 or something. And at the time I said, I think he's going to be a lock in this side. And he'll be like Laporte from a couple of seasons ago, playing week in, week out. You know, really reliable player. Only started at 5.5 mil. And yeah, I think he's going to stay in my team for the remainder of the season, to be honest. Final reminder to get your votes in on the captain poll on our Discord. I will have a look at the results right now. Before we do, quick plug for the Discord because it's a genuinely good FPL resource. So we've got things like the price changes, the lineups, live scores, bonus points. We've got the stats bot, so you can use commands like info, Bamford, and then the bot will chuck up some information about that player. We've also got a new feature where you can do plus live, and it will tell you your live rank. I say that and it hasn't. That's what it should do. We've got injury updates, game week stats, top 10k, insider trading, one of my favourite channels. Be interesting to see the insider moves this week, news and loads more. Loads more on the Discord. Never ending content there. Anyway, so the captain poll results are in. I haven't put mine in yet, so I'll do it now. There we go, Salah. So 47 votes for Kane. Wow, Kane's a popular pick this week. 19 votes for Salah. 12 for Bruno. Interesting. 11 for KDB. Just a couple of votes for Son and Bale. 3 for Gundo. 5 for other. If anyone in chat voted other, let me know who you went for. Yeah, it's very spread this week. I would say there's a massive opportunity to fly up the ranks if you do get your captaincy right. Anyway, good luck everyone with the captaincies. We are, how long? 20 minutes till the deadline? Friday deadline tonight. Anyone going to be watching tonight's game? So tonight's fixture is Newcastle at home to Villa. I'll have Concert and Watkins put in this one, so hopefully get something from them. I can't believe how close Conser came to scoring last game week. He had 2 massive chances where he controlled it very well in the box and just missed his shot. One of them I think he hit against the crossbar, and the other one he kind of sliced wide. Yuri asked, what do you think about Mopai? Yeah, I think we had a question about Mopai early in the stream, and basically I'm not at all tempted by him. I did have him earlier this season, but the problem with Brighton is they have such good underlying stats, but they just don't have the quality in their strikers to bury the chances. Now, Brighton obviously play in blank Gameweek29, but I would say there's 3 or 4 strikers that I'd have ahead of Mopai for 29. Kane, obviously. I would say Watkins, Bamford, definitely, and probably Antonio. I'd say all 4 of them I'd rate higher than Mopai for the blank. And if you're talking about just in general FPL terms, then I'd say he's way further down the list. Something I forgot to mention is the potential double for Villa and Everton when we were looking at the fixture ticker earlier. So Ben Crellin speculated here in 30. So there could be a double for Villa in 30, and they'd play against Fulham and Everton at home. And Everton would have Palace at home and then Villa away. So that'd be an exciting mini double gaming if we do get it. There was a potential for it to be in this game week, I think it was 28, but it looks like it's almost certainly not going to happen now unless they controversially announce something on the deadline. Let's hope not. But we did see them do that before, didn't we? They announced the 26 doubles like bang on the deadline. So those who wanted to wildcard to prepare couldn't really prepare without a bit of guesswork. Denzo, how we doing, mate? Glad you're here. Jonas says Saka or Bamford start. I would probably start Saka. But yeah, I might be biased as well. Cool synthwave background music. Yeah, I actually really like this playlist. It's from Harris Heller, and he's made this music or this entire playlist, and it's completely free to use for any streamers. Basically, back when I first started streaming a few months ago, I just used like my own music, and I didn't realise you couldn't do that. And the videos got flagged by YouTube. So now it's this copyright-free playlist by Harris Heller. What a legend, making all this music for free. Alchiman, bench Wan-Bissaka or Saka? I would bench Saka. Monkey Man, start Saka, Rafinha or Veltman this week? Oh, probably Veltman. The Flisk asks, bench Antonio or Bamford? Bamford. Abdul says, I have to play one of Rafinha and Lookman. Which one should I use? I'm not expecting a lot of points from either. Who have Fulham got? Oh, City. I would start Rafinha. Worth Faint agrees. Let's have a look at the expected points for Gameweek 28. Let's have a look at who is expected to come out on top. So, this is courtesy of FPLreview.com. They've got an algorithm which they claim is more predictive than the Bookies Odds. But we like to look at both, not just the Bookies Odds alone, but also FPL Review's algorithm. And they've got Salah out on top, actually, for Gameweek 28. Just barely, with 5.69 expected points. Vardy just behind with 5.65. KDB on 5.3. Mahrez on 5.2. And then we've got Bruno, Kane, Diaz, Trent, interestingly. I do expect Trent to come back in, I'll be honest. Nico Williams, I just think isn't cut out right now for that right back spot. DCL up there as well, 4.6. Mane, 4.5. Aubameyang, 4.5. Also Robbo, 4.5. Mount, interesting option. So fingers crossed that FPL Review's algorithm is spot on with Salah at top, because he is my captain. But we were talking about Kane and his record against Arsenal, and we saw on the captain poll that he is the most captain among those of you on our Discord, and this is his record against Arsenal in the league. He has played against them in other competitions a couple of times, but in the league he's made 12 appearances against Arsenal, going back to the 14-15 season. I mean, I don't know how much you can extrapolate from this, because it does go back so far, and you're talking about different managers. We've got Emery and Wenger among here. We've got Pochettino, of course, among here. But Kane's record against Arsenal is very good. 11 goals and 1 assist in his last 12. But one thing I mentioned earlier, which does stand out, is there's not any hauls here. Besides last season and back in 14-15 where he got a brace. Besides that, just 1 goal. So maybe there's a decent chance that he gets his goal again. But who knows if he gets anything beyond that. But he's got a good record, that much is clear. JD says Harry Kane penalty guaranteed. Yeah, well, this is the thing about the penalty takers. You look at players like Bruno as well. Bruno's been definitely not as good as he was earlier in the season in recent game weeks, but all it takes is a penalty, like we saw against City, and suddenly he's he's on the score sheet, and the way he plays suits the BPS system perfectly, and he often gets bonus as well. And ended up with a 10-pointer against City, despite not doing much in that game at all. Another interesting decision that I think a lot of people will be making ahead of 29 is who to get between Son and Bale. And I've got some data here. So this is over the last 4 game weeks, which is basically since we saw Bale come back into the Spurs side and get in more minutes as opposed to earlier in the season. And over that period, interestingly, Bale's first of all got a lot more points. He's got 35 over the last 4, while Son's got 23. But if you look at things like expected points, expected goals, big chances, shots in the box, shots on target, and shots, Bale leads all those metrics. So he seems to be the more attacking of the two in recent game weeks, while Son has turned into more of a creator. So he's had more crosses, key passes, loads of big chances created, and expected assists. So, going by this, I would say Bale's got the highest ceiling right now, and Son has taken a more creative role. But Son, on the other hand, is expected to play more minutes. He's more likely to play 80 to 90 minutes, whereas we've seen Bale coming off before the 70th minute in some games. Personally, I've already got Son, so I'm also considering Bale for a Spurs triple up, along with Kane. Anyway, Bale looks like the player right now with the highest ceiling. It's good to have him back in the Premier performing, even though it's for Spurs. If anyone wants me to do some rate my teams before the deadline, I'm more than happy to. That was all of the main content that I prepared for the stream out of the way. So I'm happy to do some rate my teams now. Let's start off with Vabal's team here. 66 points in 27. You've benched Loris, Bamford, Smith Rowe and Dallas. So you're starting DCL and Digne. Willian, interesting pick. Not sure about Willian, but I suppose you have to hold on to him now because he plays in the blank. Yeah, team looks good, to be honest with you. So you're playing 4-4-2 with Bamford on the bench. Who else was it on the bench? Loris, Smith Rowe and Dallas. Yeah, looks good. So you rolled on the transfer, Babel. Looks good. I'd roll the transfer if that was my team as well, and then potentially make 2 or 3 moves for blank Gameweek 29. So have a look at Jonas's team. Didn't get a chance to give you proper feedback yesterday, Jonas, because we had a little bit of technical issues on the stream, but just rate your team. So 67 with a -4 for Jonas and 27. Left Shaw on the bench. Ouch. So you've got Villa defensive double up. You have to start both of them. Diaz and Stones, you have to start. Have you made any moves yet, Jonas? Shaw, I'd say you have to start as well. So you could go 4-4-2, Bamford on the bench. It's a difficult one because Barnes to Rafinha looks like an obvious move, but obviously Rafinha's got Chelsea, which is a tough fixture. Yeah, I'd probably roll the transfer and play 4-4-2 if this was my team. And then going into 29, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players plus 2 transfers. So you're in a good position there because you could potentially get in 9 or 10 taking a hit. Yeah, I'd roll the transfer as well. As boring as it is to roll a transfer, it's often the more sensible move when there's not something stand out. $10 minutes till the deadline. Don't forget to sort out your armband, everyone. Make sure your bench is in the right order. Let's have a look at JD's team. It's the right team, JD. 100 points. You are joking. 100 points. Captain KD. Everything went right for you, didn't it? Did you bench boost? You didn't even bench boost and you got 100. Unbelievable score. So I missed your question, but this is your team. So Wan-Bissaka, Cancelo, Soufal. So I'd bench Soufal, start White. In midfield, you got Rafinha as well. So you'd start Son, Gundo, Bruno, KDB, Antonio, Kane, and Watkins. Yeah, and you could bench Rafinha, I think, and then play 3-4-3. Is that right? Yeah, so you start Wan-Bissaka, Cancelo, and White. 3-4-3. Yeah, I would start Antonio. Looks good. Looks good, JD. And congratulations on your outrageous Gameweek 27 score. I do think it's a wise week to roll the transfer, because that probably is going to be my feedback for a lot of teams. And then you can, you know, make a couple of moves, or maybe make 3 moves, which is like a mini wildcard, isn't it? 3 moves to attack the blank game week. And the other reason is because players like Rafinha and Bale are decent options for blank game 29, but they haven't got the best fixture this week. Miro says, you're literally a fortune teller for FPL. I have to disagree with that one. Full disclaimer, if only I was a fortune teller, I would be #1 in the world, wouldn't I? So if I get any of these suggestions wrong, please don't come back at me with it. Oh, he took a -8 for KDB. Unbelievable. What a move. Yeah, hindsight's 20/20, but I had an absolute mare going Sterling over KDB. I thought Sterling would start that game, the second game, because he'd had a rest in the game week before. And I did fancy City to do well in the Southampton game. And of course, Sterling didn't even play a bloody minute. I forgot whose ID this was. Was this Danny's? It was Danny's. We're a worldwide stream here. Danny from, is that Romania flag? We had Jonas from the USA. Who else did we have? JD was Irish. Anyway, I'm rambling now. We've got less than 10 minutes till the deadline. What am I doing? So this is your team. Got Cancelo, Dina, Dallas, Stones. So Dallas you have to bench. I've got Barnes as well though. Difficult one this week. You have to start Cancelo, Dina and Stones. That's a no-brainer. You're probably going to have to play Bamford. How many transfers have you got, Danny? You could move Barnes on. But again, the problem is the best option is probably to move him on for Rafinha or Bale. You've only got 1.9, so you can't stretch to Bale. I'd probably do the Barnes to Rafinha move, if I'm honest. Just because the Pep rotation could punish you and one of those City players might not play. And you want to have someone to come off your bench, so I'd probably do Barnes to Rafinha and have him first on the bench. Could even start him against Chelsea, but might be a tough game week to ride out this one. Because you've got the likes of Bamford, you've got Chelsea, Saka's got Tottenham, Barnes has got the injury. I think it's got to be Barnes that makes way though. What do you guys think? Tough on that one. Thanks everyone who has stuck around for this long. Appreciate you all being here for this deadline stream. Anshuman, Danny, Aina, El Padrino, Ilum, JD, Jack, Jonas, Kwaku, Miro. Appreciate you all being here. Don't forget to like the video while you're here. Not long to go till the deadline. Kwaku says Pickford or Edison to play. Definitely Edison. Jonas says Doggo makes an appearance. Yeah, he loves making an appearance, doesn't he? It's so funny that he loves to sleep on my shoulders like this. I'd completely forgotten he was even there until you mentioned it just now. Oh, I think he knows we're talking about him. It's alright, mate. Oh, you off. Okay, bye-bye. Doesn't like it when people talk about him in the third person. You can address him directly as Teddy. Looks a bit fed up. Took him for a good long walk earlier. Don't know what he's fed up about. Let's have a look at El Padrino. 75 points, very nice. In Gameweek 27. So you have to start Cancelo, Stones, Target. You have to start. Looks good actually. 3-5-2. Start DCL instead of Bamford. I'd probably do that. I think I'd start Rafinha and play a 3-5-2. So basically just swap DCL in for Bamford. Davies first on the bench, Bamford second, Soufal third. I really hope for a decent green arrow this week because I'm fully expecting a red in 29 since I'm not using my free hit. So it'd be nice to cushion that blow with a decent green arrow before the inevitable red. The other problem with 29 is there's just not really many standout picks. Players that you look at and think, oh yeah, they'll definitely do well in that fixture. You know, Spurs could do well, but as I was saying earlier, Villa aren't the sort of team you can just roll over nowadays. And obviously Villa assets, you can't really expect them to do that well because they're playing Spurs. Who else? I mean, Arsenal, Aubameyang's just not been the same this season. He could be an option. He's been a little bit more in form lately, but there's really not any standout picks. Now maybe you could get a West Ham player, but sorry, a West Ham player, but they play Arsenal. Again, not an easy fixture to predict, so that's why I think it's probably better to save the free hit for later in the season. Let's do one or two more rate my teams. So this is Ilum's team. I don't know if I'm saying your username right. Ilum. Oh, Danny Ings. Unfortunate. I think what you do here is you sell Danny Ings and you get either Antonio or Bamford. Probably Antonio. Teddy. Yeah, so who have you got in defence? Peters. I don't know if Peters is still playing actually. That's the problem as well. How much have you got in the bank? 1.7. You could do Peters to a Villa defender. And that sets you up for the blank and also for the Villa fixture tonight. What about that? Peters to target. Have you got one transfer or two? If you've got one, then I'd probably do Ings to Antonio. If you've got two, then I'd also do Peters to target. And then I'd start him instead of Dallas. Two minutes till the deadline, everyone. Game week 28. Oh, Monkey Man, you can't be asking me to rate your team this close to the deadline, mate. I can't do that to you. I'm sorry, I can't have that responsibility. You're having an outrageous season. Let's actually have a look at the FPL Focal Mini League. Sorry, wrong tab. Yeah, so Monkey Man's still top, 808th in the world. Followed closely by Chanif. I can't remember if we saw Chanif on tonight's stream. Very tight at the top there. Chanif 12 points behind the Monkey Man. But I can't do it, Monkey Man. I can't have that responsibility on my shoulders the season you're having. Go with your gut, mate. It's done well for you so far. Yeah, so this is how I'm lining up. So tonight I've got Concert and Watkins playing against Newcastle. Have you guys got any Villa assets playing tonight? And then we're going to be watching the game. I think I'll probably have it on in the background. Oh, I didn't spot that you were in the top 10k, Elam. Very strong. If anyone's not in the FPL Focal Mini League, there is a link in the description to auto join. Don't forget to click that before the deadline seconds from now, because otherwise they won't let you join until after the game is updated. Jonas says the time has come. Good luck, lads. Is that it? Did we make it? We made it to the deadline. As always, the party carries on Discord for this game week. I'll be on there once this stream finishes. And the other thing I'll do, as always, is I'll add the timestamps to the description of this video for anyone that missed any of the stream, wants to go back and watch some specific bits. But I really appreciate you all being here, as always. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, final reminder, don't forget to like the video before you go. Helps others discover the channel. And if anyone's not subbed to the channel, what are you doing, mate? Hit the sub button. Be good to see you back for a future stream. Mikey Man says, good luck, lads. Where Faints called it, deadline, lads. El Padrino, good luck, lads. Flisk says, good luck, Salah. Thanks, Flisk. Where Faints says, all the best to everyone. Jonas says that was too close. Oh, what happened? You had Gundo on captain while you were planning Salah and hadn't saved, and you just changed it at 29 minutes past. Cutting it fine. That's stressful, that. Danny says, cheers, or have a fun weekend on and off the pitch. Yeah, I'll echo that. Have a good weekend, everyone. I won't stick around much longer. Maybe one day I should do a stream where I do stick around post-stream and we just talk FPL in general, or talk about something non-FPL. But for now, I'm going to wrap the stream up there. I will see you guys on the Discord, and I'm going to add the timestamps to this video, have some dinner, watch the football, and let's hope for a good weekend. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next stream. Cheers, guys.